Tomatoes are one of the most popular plants grown in Kansas every summer, and it's no surprise why. Everyone loves a fresh, juicy tomato right from the garden. But unfortunately, there are some problems we see every year because of our crazy Kansas weather. This tomato is showing a condition called physiological leaf curl, and it's very common in Kansas during the summers, and it just means that the plant is either getting too much water or not enough water, or it could also mean that we just had a sudden temperature change and the plant is a little bit stressed. So you can see that a lot of the leaves have just curled up and they look a little bit wilted. So usually what we do is just tell people to wait a few days, come back out and look at their plant, and usually the condition will correct itself. Just make sure you're watering very regularly and consistently. What we're seeing on these leaves is called septoria leaf spot. We might also be seeing some early blight. These are fungal diseases that are very common on our tomato plants. They're caused by warm weather and humidity, so they are pretty common in our Kansas summer weather conditions. They start at the bottom of the plant and work their way up. And a lot of times they're caused by overhead irrigation. So if you change your cultural practices, you'll take care of the disease. When you first start to see symptoms of blight on your tomato plants, you can go ahead and treat with some sort of fungicide. You can either use a broad spectrum Fertilome brand fungicide or a copper soap fungicide to help protect your tomatoes from the disease. But we often say that the best control is cultural practices, so watering by drip system, staking your tomatoes, crop rotation, and cleaning up your garden really well in the fall so that the disease doesn't overwinter for the next season. So spider mites are another very common pest we see on our tomato plants. They come out during hot, dry weather, and a lot of times we'll see them on the undersides of the leaves. So make sure you're flipping up the leaves and looking at the undersides. They also leave kind of a stippling appearance, so you'll see little dots on the leaves, and that's because they actually use their piercing mouth parts and they suck out the plant juices. So a lot of times we don't recommend that you spray anything. Just use some water, a really heavy stream of water, to spray down the plants. And again, making sure you're getting it on the underside of the leaves because that's where the spider mites live, and that'll kind of dislodge them from your plant. If you do have a really heavy case of the spider mites, you can use like a horticultural oil or a soap to get rid of them. Tomatoes are a really fun plant to grow during the summer. Unfortunately, we do see some problems with them, but if you have any problems and they're not producing like they should be, feel free to call the local extension office. We have a lot of great resources. I'm available to come out and look at your tomato plants and help you get through the season.